It was. And I think that's a smokescreen for saying, well, we're going to move manufacturing out of our countries into a low cost slave labor country and we're going to make millions doing it. And that's certainly what happened in the United States, Europe, and even Australia, where we don't manufacture anything, we don't make anything anymore. I mean, Australia, you'd well remember, Australia used to manufacture even aeroplanes going back to the 40s, and we made automobiles and cars and trucks and things like that. I mean, now we'd be lucky to make paper straws. So yes, we have. You could look at it two ways. We are responsible for the China that we see today. We're responsible for China building up and being the most aggressive authoritarian country the world has seen in a very long time. But on the flip side, we're also responsible for making China very rich. So it's been their accession into the World Trade Organization, none of the rules of which they abide by themselves, of course. And of course, will slap tariffs, use trade war and lawfare and hostage diplomacy whenever it suits them. So, yeah, we're indeed responsible, but we're also now responsible for fixing the mess that we created. We're responsible for our own people. We're responsible for keeping our nation safe. We're responsible for keeping the democracy that many Australians spilt their blood and spent their fortune on either defending and building over the last 230 years into being the most kind and generous country on the planet. We're responsible for maintaining that, not just for ourselves, but for our children and our grandchildren, and for the many millions of immigrants that we will receive into our open arms, no doubt in the future. We're responsible for that. And the Australian government is doing the exact opposite to what they should be doing. They are hurting our country. They are hurting our current generation, let alone future generations. They're dividing our country. They're making our country weaker. They are taking money out of our defence budget instead of putting it in like they said they would. I work in this sector. I see it. And it is a disgrace. And we need to open up the public's minds and tell them the truth so that they can see what's happening around the world, so that they can see what is happening in our own country, in our own defence forces, on our own doorstep, whether it be the Solomon Islands or whether it be Timor-Leste, which is directly to our north, that has just signed a comprehensive strategic partnership with the People's Republic of China. We are being surrounded, and this is not the time to now be going into some new treaty or some other distraction that the Albanese Labor government, along with his mates in the Greens and the Teals, are trying to do, and just completely further weaken Australia and what we are and who we want to be.